Hello everyone, welcome to the Autoimmune Dietitian YouTube channel. My name is Annie. I'm a registered dietitian and I work with people struggling with autoimmune diseases. In my work with my clients, I help them use food and lifestyle as a way to improve their symptoms and hopefully give them their lives back. So today we are talking about diet and inflammation and my 5 rules for following an anti-inflammatory diet. I felt like this was appropriate given the new year, given that a lot of people are trying to set new goals and do better and eat healthier. So I wanted to give you these kind of top tips to help get you started. But first I want to kick it off by talking about diet and inflammation. I literally think about this relationship between diet and inflammation all of the time. It is one of the most important things I teach my clients because what you eat can literally change the trajectory of your autoimmune disease. So again, today I'm going to give you a really brief explanation on how food can lower inflammation, and then we'll dive into those 5 rules for eating an anti-inflammatory diet. Before I just jump in, just attaching my usual disclaimer to this video that the information in today's talk is not the substitute for the diagnosis, treatment, or care of disease by a medical provider. This is for informational purposes only. Please consult your qualified health professional for any changes you make to your medical care. Okay, so kicking it off, we want to talk about how does food affect inflammation. So food plays a significant role in chronic inflammation, despite what some people might tell you. There are certain foods that are inflammatory, but what does this actually mean? Like, how do foods cause inflammation? So there are compounds in foods that can do a few things that trigger inflammation in the body. For one, they can activate the immune system and release inflammatory messengers that trigger inflammatory pathways. Think about cytokines. We all know that word from COVID. So cytokines can cause inflammation, and compounds in food can actually release inflammatory cytokines. Some compounds in foods, thinking sugar, can rapidly cause blood sugar swings, which can increase free radical production and pro-inflammatory cytokine production. And then lastly, another way that food can cause inflammation is it can actually reduce the diversity of your microbiome, causing both leaky gut and inflammation in your gastrointestinal tract. And we all know how important our microbiome and leaky gut is to maintaining a healthy, low inflammatory system in our body. On the other hand, foods that are anti-inflammatory have special compounds that help lower inflammation. So these foods help sequester free radicals to prevent them from causing damage to cells and tissues. They encourage the release of anti-inflammatory messengers to stop inflammation, and they support the growth of beneficial bacteria in the gastrointestinal tract to balance the microbiome and metabolize compounds that lower inflammation. So eating a diet rich in these anti-inflammatory foods and restricting the inflammatory foods can be incredibly beneficial for lowering inflammation in the body. And this is important for people living with autoimmune diseases because having less inflammation means that the immune system is not activated. A calm, functioning immune system doesn't attack your own tissues and cells, which can help push your disease into remission. Isn't that what we all want in the first place? We just want to be in remission. So food can help you get there. What are some examples of inflammatory foods? So what are some foods that trigger inflammation? Here's a short list of them. Refined sugar, refined grains, trans fats, additives, chemicals, colorings, flavorings, even the natural ones, again, all trigger inflammation. Gluten for most people that have an autoimmune disease, dairy for some, not all, but some people, alcohol. Keep in mind, everyone responds differently to food. So in my experience working with clients, these are the top foods and compounds that really affect those living with autoimmune diseases. There are a handful of others in the maybe category that include things like nightshades, especially my clients who have joint pain. Nightshades can be aggravating for that. Corn is a big one that shows up a lot of times. Soy, another one. Eggs, sometimes it's the egg yolk, sometimes it's the egg white, sometimes it's the whole egg. Again, those are different compounds, so you have to kind of investigate both. And then some nut varieties. So how do you first of all know what foods trigger inflammation for you? Well, that's when an elimination diet comes in handy. I've done a lot of kind of talks and videos about elimination diets, but it is what I do with a lot of my clients. Actually, almost all of my clients I do elimination diets with. And, I do that with my one-on-one clients and my group programs as well. So if that is something you're interested, you can definitely check that out on my website. Okay, how do you start an anti-inflammatory diet? So now that you know the basics of how food affects you, because again, it's important to know the why before you do the how. Now that you know why, what should you eat? How should you do this? Here are my top 5 rules for anti-inflammatory eating. Rule number 1, eat whole, unprocessed, or minimally processed foods, because honestly, all of our food is processed at this point, but you want to focus on the whole foods, the fruits, the vegetables, the proteins that are not in a package and processed. I mean, things that you would buy at the butcher shop. That's what I think about when I think of proteins. What else? Dairy, if that works for you. Gluten-free grains, if that works for you. So again, things that are not in a package that have 1,000 ingredients that you cannot pronounce. If it looks like food and it says it's food, it is likely food, and that is what you want to focus on for the majority of your diet. Rule number 2, cut out refined sugar. Honestly, do this and you will see a world of difference in your body. I know that whenever I start kind of letting the sugar creep in, I just feel so much worse. And once I get rid of it, it's like, oh, I feel so much better. So refined sugar, that includes things like cane sugar, agave syrup, brown rice syrup, evaporated cane juice. What else do they call it? Malts. I don't know. The food companies come up with like 1,000 different names for sugar. The ones you want to focus on in moderation are things like maple syrup, honey, coconut, date, anything that kind of comes from a plant, okay? Those are, and fruits. Fruits are not evil. Fruits are whole foods. Fruits have antioxidants. Please eat fruit. Don't cut it out. Okay, number 3, eliminate foods with additives, colorings, flavorings, chemicals, emulsifiers, and any other ingredient you can't pronounce. These all trigger inflammation. It is shocking when you go to the grocery store and you start picking up things that you think are like healthy, and then you see that they have like 100 different gums and flavors and things in them. Like, why can't they just be normal? Like plain food. It's frustrating, but that is food companies for you. So again, cut those out and you will feel a lot better. Number 4, rule number 4, hydration. You must drink water. I cannot stress this enough. You can eat the cleanest diet in the world, and if you're not drinking, you're still not going to feel great. This is because water lubricates joints. It helps your body get rid of toxins. It keeps your cells working efficiently. And by cells, I mean immune cells, okay? We need these to work efficiently. So stay hydrated. If you need to add a flavor to it, add some fresh squeezed lemon, fresh squeezed lime. Even orange is great in water. You can add basil, you can add cucumbers. Make your own, or add some sort of electrolyte that doesn't have a bunch of junk in it. Please, just drink water. Your urine should be pale yellow to clear and not have a strong scent. That is when you know that you are hydrated enough. My last rule, eat the rainbow. Literally, whoever coined this term should have required people to pay them whenever they say it, because I say it all the time and it's literally the best thing to say, because it is true. The more colors you eat, the greater variety of antioxidants and polyphenols and all these great, helpful anti-inflammatory chemicals you will get circulating in your body, and that will just further the ability of yourself and your body to fight inflammation. So please eat variety, eat color, eat all the colors. Try to eat them every day. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, even the purple. So just to recap, today we focused on why food, or how food triggers inflammation, why that is, why foods can, or how foods can lower inflammation, and then how to start an anti-inflammatory eating pattern. If you need more help with this, please go to my YouTube profile. There should be a link there to book a free discovery call. If you cannot find it, go to my website, AnnieRubin.com. You will also be able to find that link there. I also have lots of videos on my YouTube channel to help you understand the relationship between food and autoimmune disease, lifestyle and autoimmune disease, and how to kind of work those two in to your healing plan to feel better. If you need help, I am here. I am still accepting clients. So book that free discovery call. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please hit the little subscribe button. I do try to put these videos out every month. I got a little backlogged this fall, but my goal this year is to do it every week, and that is my goal. So I'm going to do it. So you can always find me here. And again, if you have any questions, please reach out. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you next time.